Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
Hello.
We're all doing that. Oh, it's hot out thing with our hair.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Hi, Julia. Oh, you're muted.
How are the mosquitoes up there?
Pretty dreadful depending on where you are. But it's more the deer flies right now that are, carrying small children away and taking big chunks out of my arms when I'm showing vacant land. But one good thunderstorm in August and the deer flies will be gone.
Oh, good. Oh, good. It's been bad here too, so that's why I wonder.
Yeah, pretty ugly in spots.
Everyone should meet my friend Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hey, Jules.
It's so good to finally see you.
I know. I brought in my external camera, and there's still something going on with it because the resolution's not good, but I'll figure that out.
And there's a lake behind you. I'm jealous.
There is, yeah, there is.
Where are you?
Charlotte Lake area in Ontario, north of Kingston.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and where are you located?
I'm in Sundridge.
Okay,
Where's Sundridge?
Peterborough area.
It's
Kind of.
I'm halfway between Huntsville and North Bay.
Oh, up there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it should be a really fun session. I'm excited to show you guys kind of what we've been doing with Facebook ads, some of the changes that have been made with Facebook. And yeah, has anyone recently been using Facebook ads?
I'd love to say yes, but I can't.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and you know that I made an attempt that apparently failed. I don't know.
I ran some ads for about 4 or 5 months and then stopped because there was too many tire kickers in there that just weren't ready.
Okay.
Guess I turned on my video for you guys. There we are.
There you are.
There we
Hi.
are. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning.
Part of our new plus team up in Tiny Township.
Guess from the central Ontario region.
Yeah.
Middle of everywhere.
We're doing a good job of spreading everybody out though.
Yeah.
I mean, really, because I'm here, Elroy's and Tiny, Christine's out Walkerton Way.
We need someone in Bracebridge.
Yes, and Huntsville. You and I have talked about that many times.
Well, I can cover Huntsville if you want to cover the north end, Nancy. I'm heading to Huntsville today.
Oh, are you? I'm going to be down there on Tuesday to meet John Bowen.
I don't know John.
He's from our office.
Yeah.
All right, we got some more
What's
people
going on tomorrow?
on here.
Oh, I'm in showings all afternoon tomorrow. When are you going to be in?
Me?
Yeah.
I start 2 o'clock and I'm hoping done around 6 today. Showing 4 houses on the line today.
Next
Port
time.
Sydney, Huntsville, all around that pocket.
Gotcha.
The buyer that started in Creemore and now we're in Huntsville.
I've got a guy coming from Tillsonburg tomorrow or Friday. That's
Tillsonburg.
He's looking from basically here to Port Loring, but I've got a Port Loring property and it checks all of his boxes. So let's hope for a double end here, guys. Thank you for doing that. Sorry for monopolizing the conversation there for a moment.
No, you're good. I'm still getting people signed in. I know we only see Nasir, but I'm pretty sure there's a whole team with you, right?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, I can. Hello.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of us.
7 of us.
Okay.
You can't see them. I did run a paid boost on Facebook just last few weeks ago, sorry, for the Dunville properties. I did it for $100. I spent $100 and I had about 280 some people connect with me. like, or at least put comments and likes that I never knew these people before, which is good. At least it got, got out there, the ad.
Yeah, that's
100
awesome.
in 1 week, in 5 days, 5 or 7 days. $400, yeah.
And I have done some Facebook ads before, but now recently I've done is just basically boosting some open houses and stuff like that just to get traffic.
You
At
get a
open
lot
houses.
of likes, a lot of people.
I do see likes and all, but still I didn't see much people coming into the house.
Yeah,
That was
same here,
different.
same here.
Yeah.
None of them came to see them.
Correct,
But
correct.
Yeah, but I know it works. It's a matter of just the right person,
An ad I had, and then it was done through somebody who was running it for me and all that, but that was quite successful. Because they were serious people, but not ready to sell right away, but I have met a lot of people, built a lot of database around that, and I have most of them in my CRM system, so my CRM got total now about 450 people, which had about 200 before, so I kind of added a lot of them
Yeah.
in there, and I've got scheduled calls and all, because people aren't ready right now, but at least they're on my newsletters and things like that, right?
That's good.
So I know it works, for sure.
Yes, and that's definitely something we're going to be talking about. So just to kind of get started on why I'm bringing this to you now is I know Jake, a lot of you have the video from Jake that's on our YouTube channel when he did our Facebook lead generation session, probably the end of last year, I think it was. And the reason we're doing this again is because Facebook loves to make changes. They love to make updates, and a lot of what they're working with now is AI related. And we just want to make sure that we're bringing you all of the up-to-date content. I recently was able to change the way we do our ads. Jake and I did not like the leads that we were getting. Oh, there's everybody. Thank goodness. Hello. So the leads that we were getting from our original ads, which were free home evaluation, much more generic ads, those leads were not the kind of leads that we were really seeing any movement with. They were either just uninterested or not wanting to call back or leaving phone numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we changed the ad to be extremely specific and only property ads. From that, we did one property, Scott's Listing in Welland, and we were able to garner almost 40 leads from that ad. We did a different style ad for condos in the Mississauga area. And from that one alone, I believe we have close to 50 leads. Herbert, do you want to talk on that for a little bit? Yes, I see your hand. You're muted.
Yeah, it's been incredible response. The amount of leads I'm getting from that post alone, I'm getting 3 to 4 almost daily. The response has been incredible. It's been proper phone numbers, proper names, and proper emails. I never had to, like the emails that I send out automatically, none of them have bounced. So that's fantastic already. The only issue that we've come across, and again, this is something we got to play with, is most of those leads are lease leads. They thought it was a lease, and so that's been the response. But either way, I'm dealing with them, and hey, lease money is lease money. Only 2 so far are looking to buy. And so I'm now leading them down the path of speaking to a mortgage broker and all of that kind of thing. So it's been absolutely amazing, and I'm still getting leads. Sometimes at 9 o'clock at night, something pops in and comes in through the system. So it's been phenomenal. Game changer for sure. Oh,
Awesome.
Michelle will be talking about that shortly. Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open up one of our Facebook ads that we've already done that's active currently. And we're going to go through all of the different steps that you're going to see. And you're going to see exactly what I have chosen. And then we're going to do a full one together. So if you either want to open up your own Facebook page and do it with me or take notes, I'm going to go through step by step how to actually set up the ad. So we're just going to look at one that's already running and just quickly go through what I did and why, and then we're going to do it together. So let's see if you guys can see this. Can you guys see my screen? Yes, nodding. Okay, good. So the first thing you need to do is have a Facebook page. If you don't have a Facebook page, this information is still relevant to how you are going to market to your CRM. You're still going to see what type of advertisements work for people, the types of ads that they are actually willing to respond to, and you can tailor that to how you're marketing, whether that's flyer, email, or just speaking on the phone. You'll be able to see what grabs their attention. Now, with your Facebook page, I'll just start from the very, very beginning here. So if I go into Facebook, I have my Facebook page open already. On the left side here, there's an ads manager. That's what you're going to click on. When you click on ads manager, it's going to open up to this campaigns page. And when you start your ad, you're going to click create. Any ads that you are working on that are active or have been completed will show up. So we're going to click into this active ad. So Confederation Parkway leads is what I called it. And with every campaign, you can have different ad sets. For this session for you guys, I'm just going to be talking about doing one ad set and one ad per campaign. So let's not worry about doing all these different ads. Let's just focus on one for right now. And then we can have a different session about the way that you can set up different ad sets and different ads to compare. But right now we're just going to talk about one. So in your ad sets, you're going to hover over the address and you're going to click edit. And then you'll be able to see it pops up for the ad sets. There we go. And then just edit again. So this is the start of the ad. You have your campaign name. You have your special ad categories. This is very important. The first time I did an ad, I ended up calling Jake on a Saturday, which I never like doing. Because Facebook was rejecting my ad and I couldn't figure out why. The category of housing is mandatory when you are marketing in real estate and doing Facebook ads. It's just a drop-down box that will be blank. You click on housing and it sets up what is necessary for you. The country's Canada, that's great. Now, what we've decided to do for these ads is
There you
not...
go. Go ahead. I know we have a question.
Yep.
Michelle,
Yes.
are you gonna help us create one new one after this? Right now, I know you're
Yes.
showing the current one, right? So we'll
Yes.
just follow along. When you do the new one, we'll follow along with you.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just running through kind of the key points that I want you guys to pay attention to. And then
Okay.
we're going to go through creating, adding in photos, writing the caption, all of that.
Okay, thank you.
So still in this first page, after your categories and country, you have all of these other sections: campaign details, advantage, caption, budget, A/B test. I want you guys not to worry about that. Don't even touch that. It will automatically say auction and automatically say leads, and you'll see why when we do it from the beginning. And don't worry about this advantage campaign budget or A/B test. You're just gonna leave that blank. So really this first page, all you're doing is clicking housing, Canada, and making sure that your campaign objective is leads. That's it. And then you'll click next and it will pop up with this next page. Your ad set name is, I've just chosen here Confederation Parkway. You can choose whichever name you want. It's just for your own categorization in Facebook ads. The next one would be the conversion, how you are gaining these leads. So are they going through your website? Are they messaging you? Are they going through WhatsApp? Are they direct calling you? The only one that we're using is instant forms. And with instant forms, we're going to walk through exactly how to create a form. And I highly recommend just copying word for word exactly what I've written, because it's the only thing that I'm using. I'm not changing my wording anytime I make an instant form. The only thing I'm changing is the address. You'll see your Facebook page is connected here. If this is your first time doing a Facebook ad, this won't be here. This will instead say, please accept all these Meta's lead ad terms and conditions. So you're just going to click yes, and then it will change to this, you've accepted terms. Now, this is the other thing we changed, the performance goal. With the performance goal, we used to we put in a cost per result goal. We are no longer doing that. So it will just say maximize number of leads, and then you're just going to leave the cost per result goal empty. You're also going to leave off dynamic creative. The budget and scheduling can go one of two ways. You can have a daily budget or a lifetime budget. For both ads, we've chosen to have a lifetime budget. It depends on how much you're looking to spend and when you're looking to spend it. So with a daily budget, Facebook will say, I won't spend over a certain amount of money on this day for, if you choose to run it for 1 week or 2 weeks, then Facebook's like, okay, I'm not going to spend over $20 per day. For us, we're not concerned with what we're spending daily. We just don't want to spend that much money in the lifetime of the ad. So that's one of the things that we've changed as well. You also have a schedule running. So you pick your start date and your end date. I have not run an ad for more than 2 weeks. I don't know about you guys, but if I see the same ad continuously pop up on my phone more than, I'll say 4 times, I get really annoyed. I get it. The ad is, running and stuff, but I'm like, okay, let's move on. For over 2 weeks, you'll probably see the performance, this line here, number of leads, go down. Because people aren't interacting with the ad as much. People have very short attention span. So if they don't see it on that first one, and if they don't add their information on the second or third time they see it, they're not going to. You also have budget scheduling, which we choose not to do, but you're more than welcome to, and ad scheduling. The ad scheduling is actually really great because you get to pick when your ad runs and when it's most likely that people will input their information. So if I click on edit here, you'll be able to see that we run our ad in the viewer's time zone. And we'll go through all of this when we go through step by step. We run it from around 9 a.m. to just after 3 p.m. and then from 6:30 p.m. to about 8:30 p.m. We do this because during the week, we know that someone is available to talk to those leads during that time. And we know that people are most likely to look at homes either after work and after dinner, and on Saturday and Sunday in the morning and in the evening. So if you are someone that is only available to talk to leads from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., set your ad for 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Because the worst thing you can do is have all these leads come in and no one be available to talk to them. You also have your audience section here. So with the housing regulations, there's only so much you can do when creating an audience. We've chosen not to add anything, and we just focus on locations and detailed targeting. So for locations, when we do it, you'll be able to see that an actual map comes up, and you can choose where in that map you want your ad to be distributed. So we've chosen Mississauga and the GTA because that's where we think these leads are going to come from. If, for example, Nancy, if you are in a specific area, but you want to market to people living in a different area, you can do that. You can choose wherever in the general vicinity of Canada or Ontario that you want to market, depending on who your ad is for. This will never change the age and gender because that is part of the housing regulations. The other two that we're going to focus on are detailed targeting and languages. The detailed targeting, for example, house, first-time home buyer, condominium, this all relates to who would be interested in this specific type of property. Languages, put the languages that you speak. A lot of you speak more than English. Put all of the languages that you feel you can trade in real estate with. The last part here is the placements. We're not going to touch that. We're just going to leave that alone. It will automatically do what Facebook wants it to do. As long as you have that green check there, you're good. You'll also see, and as a reminder, this ad is actually running right now. There's a cautionary sign here. Ad set may get 0 leads. Based on how you've set up your ad, you may not get any leads. So I saw that. I saw the amount of money that we had. Scroll back up here. The amount of money that we set for a lifetime budget. I know that I just did an ad that is doing well with that lifetime budget. So I said, you know what? I'm going to ignore this and run my ad anyways. And this ad has more leads than the other one. So don't get too discouraged by this and try and like raise your budget way out of what you want it to be. If you are happy with a set budget and it's reasonable, by reasonable, I mean, you're not thinking that $20 in 2 weeks is going to get you 50 leads. This is a reasonable budget, then there is opportunity for leads to come in. The budget that Facebook wanted me to use to say, okay, now you're going to get daily leads was $600 for 2 weeks. I'm not doing that. That just seems like too much money for 2 weeks. So we tried this and it worked. Now this whole section on the right-hand side here, well, it's kind of like a summary of what you're going to be able to see when you scroll down to the end here. So we're going to scroll down and here we go. Audience definition, your audience is defined, that's good. You want it to be in that green area. If you're too specific or too broad, you're probably missing something in this area like detailed targeting, or your radius is too small. The estimated daily results, this reach is what also convinced me to go ahead with the ad, even though the lead said 0. This reach is very good. If this reach is under 1,000, then there is a possibility that you're not going to get any leads. So if you're looking at between 1.5K and higher, then there is a very good possibility that even if your leads say 0, you will get leads. So I just want to put that out there. And then the last page we're going to focus on is building the form. So you also have your ad set up here. So you're going to pick images and we're going to add them. We're going to add in captions. We're going to talk about carousel optimization because Facebook really likes to think that they're in charge sometimes. So we're just going to let them be. Primary text is your caption, and then we're going to go into the instant forms.
Quick question, Michelle, regarding
Yep.
video and carousel.
Yes.
Have you tried video before, or have you focused only on carousel so far with the other ad as well?
Yeah, good question. So with the other ad, we did a single image. For this one, we did carousel. We have not tried video yet. Has anyone that's done Facebook ads tried videos yet? No. When we did our session to learn about this new way of Facebook ads, they recommended that we do carousel. When I did Scott's listing, the carousel option wasn't available to me. So I did the single image and it still garnered quite a few leads. So hopefully when we do this example here, we can talk about the carousel one and that option will be available to me. Sometimes Facebook has a mind of its own, but hopefully it works today. All right, so we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to go back into what we're going to see right when we open up Facebook. So we're going to see our campaigns. This will be empty if you've never done a campaign before. So
Michelle, we have a question.
Yeah.
So what if you can't even see the ad manager on your, I've got like, when I, on my Facebook page,
On your Facebook page, you don't have an ads manager section at all?
Center.
I have ad center. I have a create ads. Do I go there?
So, oh, okay, I think I see what you're saying. So are you on your main profile page?
Facebook profile.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that would be like my personal. I'm on my business page.
No, so on your business page, are you on, so when I click on this top right corner,
Yeah.
I click here on my name, I think I'm seeing what yours would be seeing, the ad center, the create ads, boost Instagram post, all of that on the left-hand side. Is that correct?
Ad centers, create ads. Boost Instagram, all those things are not highlighted.
Okay, so go to your homepage. So click on this button that I'm focusing on here, this
Yes.
button.
Go ahead, go home.
Do you now have a different left side of your screen?
Yes, I have a different left side, but I still don't have, that's. There it is, ads manager, but
Yes.
it's in there.
Did it work?
Yeah, I'm back to
Okay.
the campaigns.
Perfect. So there's the trick. When you're on your Facebook page, when you open up your Facebook, you need to be on that home button section to see the ads manager. So that was good. Thank you for pointing that out. So when you click on ads manager, it will open up to this. It may also open up to account overview, but you're just going to scroll over to the left side and click on campaigns. Before I continue, is anyone having an issue seeing my screen? I know on Monday I had a bit of an issue with that. No? Okay. So now we're going to create. So I'm going to click on create. And we're going to create a new campaign. So these are all our objectives. You'll see at the top here, there's a drop-down menu that says auction. We're not going to change that, but I just want to show you what's going to happen if I click on it. There's a reservation option. So this would mean they reserve leads for you, but they can't guarantee their interest. They can't guarantee they're going to fill out information, all of that. So with auction, you're putting money forward to bid on like leads that will actually fill out your form. So the more money you spend, the better your chances in the auction, basically. So you're going to leave that on auction and you're going to choose the campaign objective of leads. You also have awareness. So this would be for brand awareness. You can see it says good for reach, brand awareness, video views, store location awareness. You also have traffic. So that's good for sending people to your Instagram, your messenger, calling people, all that stuff. You also have engagement. So perfect for messenger, WhatsApp, post engagement. So if you're interested in getting more likes than you are leads, then this may be the one for you. But in real estate, we're looking for, like Herbert said, proper names, proper emails, proper phone numbers, those good leads. So we're just going to click on leads. And we're going to click continue. So it's going to show up as we saw with our first example with this starting page, this campaign name. So with the campaign name, you can.
Sorry, Michelle? Can you hear
Yes.
us?
Yeah.
Mine says choose a campaign setup.
Me too.
The new window showed up and said recommended settings or manual leads campaign.
So that's a good question. So you're going to pick manual leads campaign.
Bottom one.
Okay.
So the automated one, I believe that one automatically turns on if we see at the bottom here, the A/B test and all of this would be, there's a performance one as well that we talked about. And those would automatically be turned on. So we're just gonna do it manually. We're gonna go step by step and do everything this way. Sound good?
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for the campaign name, like I said, you can name this whatever you want. we've just decided to go with the address of the place we're going to market. So we're going to use Scott's listing. If you're doing your own listing, you would have all of this information already. I'm just pulling it from realtor.ca. So I'm just going to copy this address and put that in my campaign name. So now you should see special ad categories, and this is where you're going to declare what your ad is. So we're going to
And
click on
sorry,
category.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle, I have a question. We talked about a little bit about free home evaluation ad. I mean, that's the one I kind of ran previously. And I know you kind of mentioned something about it. This is about specific property we're trying to get attractions on or leads to be attracted towards. But could we do same thing for free home evaluation as well in particular area and all that? Similar way?
You could do this ad for free home evaluation. When we did the free home evaluation ad based on the Mississauga area, we did not see as great leads as we're getting with these property ads.
Okay.
So that
Well,
was our
And
difference.
were you very specific on that free home evaluation ad or very generic so people can click on, so there's not like too much information given, like, you know, it shows like very generic. It doesn't show a realtor information in there.
Yes, it was very generic. It was just like a regular brokerage ad instead of a specific realtor's ad.
With like some houses picture or whatever, right? Like very generic, right? Okay.
Very generic, yes. This is much more specific.
Got it.
And like I said, has garnered a better traffic than those generic ads. I do have quite a lot of people ask me about you know, brand awareness and marketing themselves as agents through these ads. My recommendation is, if you're going to be marketing yourself and your brand, I would much rather see you boost a post than do a complete ad on it. With boosting a post, you can spend less money and reach more people. The only difference is that you're usually not getting those instant forms filled out. There is an option if you would like people to call you or visit your website, but the boosting post is more about showing up on people's feed when they're scrolling. You have a lot less people filling out forms or clicking on learn more or anything like that. Whereas
would like an open house exposure would be good for boosting kind of thing you suggest, and this would be more to target like the buyers, right?
Correct. Yes, we've been using these for buyers, and we've actually had a few people fill out the form who obviously are interested in listing their house as well. So that's the difference between the generic ads and the very specific property ones, is what we found. Move you guys over here. So with categorizing your ads, so it talks about the benefits of declaring special ad categories. This is a requirement, so we're going to click on categorize your ads, and it's going to ask all about this. It's going to say, yes, my ad promotes one of the following, or no, my ad promotes one of the following. And then, so no. Employment, does my ad promote one of the following? No. Does housing, here we go. Yes, my ad promotes one of the following. And no. About social issues, elections, or politics? Nope. Based on your response, you're likely promoting a product or service that falls within housing. And then you will declare your category. There we go. So now it looks like the example that we saw previously, where you have the category of housing in the country of Canada. The campaign details is set based on that original option of the multiple choice of brand awareness, etc., where we picked leads, that's what's popping up here. That's what the campaign details is. So buying type is auction, campaign objective is leads. We are going to keep off the Advantage campaign budget and the A/B test. So we're actually done with this page now, and we can click next. Before I move on, does anyone have any questions about this page? So you have your campaign name, which we've picked address. We've gone through categorizing our ad. You'll answer no to everything except the housing. Your campaign details will be auction and leads, and you're going to keep off these other two, the Advantage campaign budget and A/B test. If we have no questions, we're gonna click next. And you'll see this button or this check mark at the bottom, all edits saved. If you're doing your ad and either something happens or you're not able to finish at that time, you can always close and save your ad as a draft and come back to it. All right. So we're going to click next. So we now have our ad set name. The different naming of these ads and templates really comes into play when you have one campaign and all the different ad sets in it. Because we're just focusing on one, we're just going to name this ad set, let's say, Madison Instant Forms ad. So I'm getting a little bit more specific as I'm going. So this campaign's for this address, and this is my Instant Forms ad. So you'll be able to see that Instant Forms is actually automatically picked for me. You are able to click on anything else if you don't want to use an instant form. You can use website, Messenger, Instagram, any of these. Today we're going to walk through instant forms because that's the one I'm recommending that you guys use. So a Facebook page will appear here. This is going to be based on what your Facebook page is. If you have more than one Facebook page, make sure you're using the correct one. So for example, we have multiple. We're going to be using, for this example, we're just going to be using the one that's populated. You can see I've already accepted Meta's lead ad terms for this page. If anyone's doing this live and never has done this before, then this will look different. This will say, please accept these terms and conditions, and you have to click on it. And once you have, it will then change to you've accepted and you can move forward. For performance goal, we are going to stay with the maximum number of leads, but let's look at what the other options are. So the other option will be, we'll try to show your ads to people who most likely to convert after sharing their contact information with you. We've just stuck with the maximized number of leads, and it's been beneficial. This is the one that Facebook is automatically choosing for us. So like I had mentioned before, sometimes Facebook likes to think they're in charge. So we're just going to leave this one. We're just going to let Facebook decide, okay, this is the one that you want to use, then we're going to use this one. Cost per result goal is optional. So we're going to leave this. And when we focus on budgeting, we're going to focus on the difference between daily budget and lifetime budget. Dynamic creative will be off automatically. So we're just going to leave that. And now we get into our budget and schedule. I want to check in before we get into budget and schedule. Does anyone have questions about any of this? Or if you're doing it live, if you have any concerns about what you're seeing versus what I'm showing you, please let me know. We're also recording this, so it's going to be on our YouTube training playlist. So if you guys get to this point or you're watching it on YouTube and at this point you have questions, my email will be in the caption and you can just send me an email. Okay, so no questions. We're going to go into budget and schedule. So budget and schedule, you'll have your daily budget, and then this is a drop-down menu, and you also have your lifetime budget option. You'll see here that Facebook explains you'll spend an average of $20 per day. Your maximum daily spend is $35, and your maximum weekly spend is $140. This is based on this $20 budget. For a lifetime budget, it automatically will populate with this amount of money. You are more than welcome, obviously, to do less or more than that. I've done less than what they're recommending I do, and it's worked. So let's go back to daily budget for a second. So with daily budget, you'll have a schedule. You pick a start date and you pick an end date. It shows for a month. Yes, question.
So if you and just go back to lifetime budget. So I click on lifetime budget, it automatically came up 350. And then I have a little yield or warning sign. Your lifetime budget is set 3,400% higher than this account's average budget of $10.
Yes. So Facebook will say, okay, you usually spend this much money. You're now wanting to spend this much money. Are you sure?
Okay.
Yeah. It's a caution for we've seen it happen where Facebook accounts, especially ones that run ads, can get hacked. We know that. That's the internet. But Facebook does have some cautionary implementations that say, okay, like this is weird activity. Are you sure you want to proceed?
Right.
So that would be
Okay.
one of them.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And we will go back to lifetime budget, but just in order, we're going to go from daily budget and then we'll go to lifetime. So with daily budget, this example is $20. This really depends on you and your schedule. And it also depends on your area. So for more oversaturated markets like Mississauga, we have seen where a higher budget is necessary. When we did our ad for Welland, this property, 107 Madison Court, when we ran this ad for Welland, we spent less money and got almost the same leads or even leads that were more interested. So look at your market, look at how much you're looking to spend daily, and base this daily budget around that. This is the schedule.
So you're not doing a lifetime because you said you were going to do lifetime. So we're not doing lifetime, we're doing daily.
I'm just going through the example of daily budget. When I set this ad and move on, I'm going to select lifetime. But
Okay,
for
gotcha.
anyone that's watching or not wanting to do a lifetime budget, you're wanting to do a daily budget, this is how you're going to do it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Each person can do their own
Their own,
amount,
yeah.
and, yeah.
So to set your schedule, you're going to select a start date and you're going to click on the date here and it's going to pop up with a calendar. You will be able to click any date between now and I'm going to say probably a month. Yeah, the last date I can pick is August 31st. That also depends on what end date you're choosing, right? Now you don't have to set an end date. I highly recommend that you do. Especially with a daily budget, highly recommend you set an end date. Because it also just helps with keeping account of what ads are running, how much you actually spent on ads, how much you're spending per lead. And this is all insights that we're going to look at once we finish going through this ad. We're going to go back to a completed ad and we're going to be able to see all of that. So yes, my start date is in the past. So let me just click tomorrow. There we go. So because I'm going to click 2 weeks, let's just say 15th. There we go. And then we have the budget scheduling. So you can try budget scheduling if you'd like. If you try budget scheduling, you can pick the amount, increase daily budget by this amount value per day, all of that, etc. I'm not going to do this. I have not done this for our other ads, and we're just going to look at ad scheduling when we look at lifetime budget. You'll be able to see that on a daily budget, you don't have the option of clicking on edit for ad scheduling. You only can use this function with lifetime budget. So if you're doing daily budget, this is all I recommend, that you pick an amount of money for your daily budget, you pick a schedule and you move on. Now going to lifetime budget. So we're going to change this drop down box and we're going to click lifetime budget. We're just going to keep the 350 as an example. Again, this is all based on how much you're looking to spend, where you're looking to spend it. Yes, pay attention to this right hand side here, but don't put all of your confidence into that. Do a budget that you're comfortable with. Check out the estimated daily results. So for example, I wouldn't run this ad for that amount of time at that money, because to me, that's too low. 827 leads is, to me, that's too low. Now, the other reason that this will change is because we're going to be looking at adding different locations. We're going to be looking at detailed targeting. So as we edit all of these areas, this estimated daily result will change. And then we can reassess. So we're going to go back up to lifetime budget. And we're going to keep the schedule. But we're
Sue has a
actually,
question.
We have a question,
Can I
Michelle.
have,
Yep.
just a quick question. You know how there's an age group there? Somewhere I saw 18 to
Yes.
68.
yes.
You know, most 18 and even up to 25-year-olds can't afford properties anymore. So I would change that to more than.
But you can't
Yeah,
change
yeah,
it,
yeah.
no.
Can't change it.
If you
So
change it more,
for-
let it run.
For
Oh, yeah.
age
Yeah.
and gender, you are legally not allowed to change those, and Facebook will not let you.
Oh, but if
For
it is,
housing.
I see.
Yeah.
It
So
is-
but even a drop-down window would not work.
No, it won't.
Wait,
It
why
won't,
is
they're
it-
not available.
Oh, because I'm thinking, what 18-year-old will buy a house or any property right now in Canada?
But Facebook is smart. Remember that. Facebook is smart. If your ad is for $1 million home, they know that a 15-year-old is not going to be able to afford that. So they're not going to market that to, and we can look at the, in those insights we're going to look at the end, you'll be able to see the different age categories that are actually looking at our ad, and they are very reasonable.
Okay.
So don't let the age and the, like any of the gender options that you can't change, don't let that deter you. So back to our budgeting. So we have that 2-week period. We're going to leave budget scheduling. And now that we have a lifetime budget, I'm actually able to edit this ad scheduling. So I'm going to click on edit. I'm going to click run ads on a schedule. Yes. So now that this is checked off, we'll see this next drop down box and it says use viewers time zone or use this ad accounts time zone Pacific time. I don't want to do that. I want to use the viewers time zone to make it easier. So here I'm going to say, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I know I'm able to get back to these leads within 5 minutes between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. So I'm just clicking and dragging on my schedule on all of those days. I know on Friday, I'm not able to talk to anyone after noon, but I am able to talk to people starting at 6 a.m. By the way, this is not factual. Please don't call me at 6 a.m. So I'm just clicking and dragging on the times available for me. Now, Saturday and Sunday, I'm available at all times. So now I'm thinking, okay, Saturday and Sunday, consumers are most likely to look at ads, look at realtor.ca in early mornings or in the evenings. Would people agree?
Yeah, some people are sleeping in.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, okay. So I'm actually going to pick between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. And then I'm going to choose between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Sunday. And let's say, assuming people like to go out on Saturday, we'll do 3 to 6 p.m. on Saturday. You'll see this little everyday section here. This is just a summary of every day between 9 and 10, you are available, and that's when your ads are going to run. So that's great. Once this is set, you're good. You can leave it. You'll see all edits saved at the bottom here, and you can move on. Does anyone have any questions about setting an ad schedule?
If Michelle, sorry, if we don't pick a schedule, then does Facebook uses their own mind kind of thing to run this ad, or how does that
Yes.
work?
Yes. So Facebook, if we choose not to run ads on a schedule, this would just be blank. And Facebook would decide, okay, for your lifetime budget between these 2 weeks, we're just going to pump out this ad when we think it's going to resonate with consumers. But this is your area of expertise as a realtor. You know, when you're available, when you can contact these leads within 5 minutes of them signing up, and you know when consumers are most likely to be on Realtor.ca or be interested in looking at homes. So, and the reason I keep referencing Realtor.ca is because if the time that people are on Realtor.ca and then they go to social media, your phone knows exactly what you're looking at. So you're most likely to get ads for real estate if you've just been talking about real estate or searching real estate or anything like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So audience, define who you want to see your ads. So you do have the option of creating a saved audience. You can create a custom audience here. Reach people who have already interacted with your business. Your sources, they can come from meta sources, like if they've already interacted with your Instagram account, your Facebook page, or a lead form. This is a really great way to target people who have already interacted with these things. Now, that being said, if I click on Instagram account and then I click on lead form, it changes. You cannot choose more than one. It is a really cool option. So if people have interacted with your lead forms before and you want to go back to these people with, let's say you're marketing a different property, then this could be definitely an option for you to use a custom audience. If you are using something else like a customer list or a website and you're pulling from those sources, then that's great, but that's not something that we're using for our ads. So for example,
Sorry, Michelle, customer list would be something we would be able to upload. I mean, not that we're gonna do it, but if we need to, is that right?
yeah, so you can create an audience by uploading a list of customers who've interacted with your business. So you would be able to upload from your database. Information in this list is put into code before it reaches Meta, basically. So they take all that information, figure out, okay, this is this person, let's target to them. That's why everyone has such specific ads when they go on Facebook and Instagram, because you sign up for all these automated emails and then those businesses are like, hey, they signed up for my email, add them to my customer list in Facebook. So you can definitely use a custom audience. If you are new to Facebook ads, you are maybe new to social media and this is your first ad, I wouldn't worry too much about this because you probably don't have a lot of traffic on Instagram or Facebook or lead forms yet. But if you are somebody that's been doing these ads, you've been active on social media, then I do recommend creating a new custom audience, clicking on either lead form or Instagram account. And once you're going through these, you can read all this information button in the little eye icon beside each of these, and it explains to you what these are for. So for example, Instagram account, I can click next, and then I can create an Instagram custom audience. For example, so the source would be my Instagram page, the event, everyone who's engaged with this professional account. I can also include anyone who visited this professional account's profile, engaged with post or ad, people that have messaged this account. So it really depends on what you've been doing already with your Facebook and Instagram, and you can target based on that. So for example, if I want to engage everyone that's been active with this professional account, I'll just click on this one. Audience retention. So this audience retention is the number of days account center accounts will remain in your audience after they engage with your content. So people will be removed from your audience after the set time period unless they engage with the content again. this is a way of saying, okay, this person's really not engaging with your content. Let's stop advertising to them because it's not working. You can include more people or exclude people. And then this is all for your own categorization. What would you name your audience? And then you could click create audience, and that would be your new custom audience. This is a really cool new feature that I don't believe we had when Jake gave his presentation. You also have locations. So this is where we're going to go in and get more specific than just Canada. So we're going to go in, we're actually going to delete Canada, and we're going to say, okay, this property is in Welland. So Welland, Ontario, Canada. It will be a minimum of 15-mile radius. You can go higher than that, but you cannot go less than that. The recommendation is that if you are in a more suburban area, you can choose 15 miles. If you're in a rural town, you're looking probably at 30 to 40 miles is the recommended amount. You can also, so for example, for the Mississauga one we chose 2 locations. We chose Mississauga and we chose GTA. You're also able to drop a pin if you want to get very specific about where you're looking for instead of just naming a city. Just drop a pin anywhere. You can click on drop pin and drag it over. Let's say I want to go to right in the middle of here. And there we go. Now I got Grimsby, Dunnville, all of that area too. If I don't want that, I can just move my cursor over there, click the X, and I'm back to Welland. This is just me zooming in and out of the map. I can drag over and say, okay, well, what about the people that are currently living in, you know, Hamilton that want to move to Welland? I could drop my pin there. I could click on search locations and add in Hamilton. And now I have 2 locations going. And you'll see that right-hand side of my screen is changing. Now I have a different reach. I have a good style audience, but I have a different reach because I'm getting more specific with my areas. The age and gender, like I said, we're not going to touch that. Detailed targeting is where you're going to add in the details of, you know, what these people would be normally looking at or inquiring about on their device. So we're going to click edit. And we can add in interests and behaviors. And to your point, Nasir, there are a lot of people, obviously, between 18 and 25 that aren't going to be able to afford a house. Hi, I'm 24. So this is where you can get more specific and kind of help negate the issues that would come up if you were just marketing to everyone 18 to 65 years old. So we're going to type in, so I'm in the detailed targeting. I'm going to type in real estate. We're going to see all these relevant either industries or topics in real estate. So we have, let's go real estate industry. And you'll see now it's added to my areas of interest. When we did the ad for the condominium, I was able to put, condominium real estate. You can also, depending on your property, you can put, should be first time home buyer, whatever you think your areas of interest would be for your consumer. So for example, if I put, spell cottage, holiday cottage, lodging, like if this is more your style of properties, then there are options for you. Just have to do a little bit of, you know, not research, but investigating into this detailed targeting. You can also click on suggestions. So let's see, if I put real estate and first time buyer, Facebook is now suggesting I add these interests as well. Single family detached home, residential area, apartment, investment. So like I said, Facebook is smart. And that, again, those are in your suggestions button here. Much like the locations, if you want to remove one, you just move your cursor over and click the X and it's gone. Languages. This is where we would edit languages as well. So you can edit and search languages. So for example, I speak English, so I'm going to add English. And as you can see, this estimated daily result is changing as we're going. This bottom section here says placements. There's going to be a green check mark there. If you don't have a green check mark, there would probably, the first time I did this, Facebook recommended a lot of stuff to me. I just went with what they recommended and it worked. If you're at this section or don't have this section, I wouldn't worry about it. And then you're at the end of this section of the ad. Does anyone have any questions about this section before we move on? Okay. So we're going to click next. This is where we get to adding pictures and writing our instant form. So your ad set name, this is what is going to populate in your CRM when we get to talking about linking your lead form to your CRM. So you want to make sure you know what your ad set name is. So we're going to put Welland leads. Partnership ad, we're going to leave off. Facebook page, we have a Facebook page selected. I have an Instagram account, but not for this page. So I'm just going to click use Facebook page. And then this is where we have our ad set up. So to your point, Herbert, this is where you would be able to choose video. And you would see single image or video. Or carousel. So carousel is what we used for our second ad. Single image is what we used for our first ad. This multi-advertiser ads will be automatically checked. It says your ads can appear alongside other ads in the same ad unit to help people discover products and services from businesses that are personalized to them. We are going to leave this checked. We're not going to touch this. This just helps people that are already interested in ads, that are already getting real estate related ads, see our ad as well. So I'm going to choose carousel. And you'll see add creative, carousel cards. So these, if you guys have seen a carousel ad before, especially on Facebook, you'll see that there are, you can just scroll and there's different pictures, maybe sometimes with different headlines at the bottom. So that would be a carousel ad. A single image ad would just be that one picture and the caption as well. So when you're adding cards, that means you're adding photos. So you're adding those graphics. So we are going to click on add cards. And we're going to add image cards. Now I do see you can actually add video cards as well. So that is an option, but we're just going to click with add image cards. So once we do that, you can see that I already have some images from previous ads there, but I'm just going to add a new one. So I'm going to click upload. And I'm going to look for my folder. You know, really great if I could find it. We're going to do this instead. Let me just get it open here and then we can continue. Because I can see it on my desktop. It's right there.
Carousel looks better. Yeah. So, oh, I like this. Let's submit. Yeah.
But they have to scroll down.
Oh, right. Right.
Okay, here we go. So Madison. So we have our folder on our desktop here. We're gonna click, and I would suggest choosing your up to 10 photos before you do this. I'm just gonna choose the first 10 just for this example. But when you're doing a carousel, you can only have 10 images or videos. So you're just gonna choose 10 from the ones that are already being used for your listing.
And we could use less than 10 as well,
Pardon?
or no? Can we use less than 10 too?
Yes, you can use less than 10. Yeah, it's only up to 10 though. So I'm just going to choose the first one here. I'm going to click open. It's going to process my image. Great. So for this part, I'm just going to do one, and then I'll upload multiple at a time so you guys can see that as well. So let's just do the first one here. So I have my image here. I'm going to click continue. And it's going to show me either edit image, change image, headline, and description. So for the headline, you're just going to write a very short headline. For example, when we did the condo ad, I just called it City Center Condos, and that was it. So I'm going to put amazing home sale. Yes, we have a question.
I'm just wondering, like, how many pictures would you recommend?
Ooh, good question. So I did, for the condo, I did 5, I believe, because there were 5 different rooms that I wanted to show. For Madison, I did 3. I did one of the front exterior, I did one of the kitchen, and I did one of the backyard, and that was it. So it depends on the features of your home. It depends on what you think is, if there's something super, super unique about the home. For example, it has like a really luxurious backyard, or it has a really cool like wine cellar or something like that. Those would be things that would grab an audience's attention. For the condo, I chose 5 because there were 5 different rooms that I wanted to show, and that was it. With condos, especially in Mississauga, a lot of them look very similar. So for that specific reason, I wanted to show all of it so no one had any questions. With Madison, it's a little bit different. I wanted there to be questions. I wanted there to be intrigue, but the exterior, the kitchen, and I didn't use the bedroom, but if I was going to do 5, I probably, unless, like I said, there was a unique aspect to the house, I probably wouldn't do over 5.
Like, how many would you do? Because like you're marketing an actual listing, but what about, like, my goal is just kind of to be like, hey, are you looking for property in cottage country? The ad that I attempted to do had 2.
Okay.
It had like a main photo, and then when you clicked on learn more, it went to a different photo.
Okay. So we will get to that.
Okay.
I will recommend using the same photo.
Really? Because I had the same photo, and Jake's like, no, and he changed it.
That's hilarious. So I recommend using the same photo, and it may not be great for like diverse marketing purposes. I get where Jake's coming from, but one of the things we also want to concern ourselves with is consumer safety and what they think is safe and not. So if you're clicking on something because you saw a picture and then it sends you to a form that has a different picture, there may be something in their mind that's like, oh, this is a different form that doesn't match.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
So that's why I recommend, and that's why I've been doing the same picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think too, it boils down at the end of this ad, what do you want and who are you targeting, right? For Nancy's case, if myself living in Toronto, if I'm looking where Nancy lives, well, I want to see cottages, I want to see water, I want to see campfires, I want to see marshmallows, I want to see tranquility, nature, things that will intrigue me to click on it and say, okay, now I'm going to send my information because that's what I want.
Well, yeah, one of my pictures was actually Muskoka chairs on a dock overlooking a lake.
Yeah, there you go. That would intrigue me, but you know, that's what we got to look at and figure out, well, what works.
Yeah.
For whom, right? Who is looking at cottages? Is it 25-year-olds or is it going to be maybe 40-year-olds, 60-year-olds? You know, what are they looking for? Are they looking for all season? Are they going to be looking for low maintenance? Are they going to be looking for, you know, where can I put my boat? These are things that, Nancy, you would have to figure out, and anybody doing ads here in Mississauga as well. Like, who is the target that you're like trying to get and figure out what are you interested in?
Yeah, absolutely. Really good point. Nancy, did that kind of answer your question or confuse you more?
All of the above.
Okay.
How's that for a nice general answer?
Yep, that's
Nancy,
good.
you gotta understand, nobody has the right answer. The thing is, you have to try, right? You have to try. Does 2 pictures work? Does 3, maybe a video? These are things that you have to try in your area to see what works. Yeah, because no one has the right answer. Ads are ads, and even Nike struggles to try to figure out, well, what do people want? You know, they don't know. They'll just try different ads, different times, different places to get people engaging.
And my biggest recommendation, and I know I do this when I work with agents and do their online audits, is put yourself in the space of the consumer. Take yourself out of it. Make sure that you have a good understanding of what your desired consumer is looking for. Because if you don't have that and you're just making up an ad based on what you want to promote, you're not going to get as many leads. So,
I don't know if this is relevant to this particular portion of this, or maybe if you and I talk about this later, I don't know. I'm just looking at one of my Meta invoices right now.
yes.
And it's a tax invoice for Nancy Welsh Vanbert, which is my personal site, not my Ontario North real estate site. And when you look in my ad camp, this might be something we have to go to together, Michelle. Because
Okay.
when you look in my performance on my ad campaign, like the first screen that you go to where it's got your campaigns and it says how many clicks and stuff you've had. This says 368 impressions, but when you go to that screen, that's not what that says. And I'm getting these invoices frequently.
Okay, yeah, let's you and I have.
Let's just talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, we'll have a chat. So back to carousel and adding photos and forms. So you'll see there is an information button here, add at least 2 cards. If you are adding less than 2 cards, then you would have to click on single image or video. Carousel is 2 up to 10. So we've added a card or a picture. We've added a headline. We will not be adding a description. I'm going to copy this headline and I'm going to just save that for later. I am now going to add more cards. So I'm going to click on add cards, add image cards. I'm going to go back to my upload button here. And I'm going to add these 4. So I'm clicking and dragging across these 4 images to highlight them and open them. And now they are all populated in my account. So I am going to click on this one, going to click on this one, and I'm just clicking, not doing anything else. I'm just clicking on the ones I want to add. And you can see they're all selected at the bottom here, and I'm going to click continue. So you can see it's starting to create that ad on the right-hand side of what it's going to look like. You can interact with this draft. You can see the Facebook feed, the Instagram feed. You can use the buttons to scroll on what it would look like. Right now, we see that the first one has a headline, the second one does not. You can either go in, click edit, and paste your headline here that you just copied, or you can click edit on this first image here and click apply to all cards. And that headline is now applied to all of our cards. For some reason, the recommendation is that the headline be the same. This usually is because we don't want consumers to be confused. If we are having different headlines, it could make them think there's different properties being marketed. This way, it's just the same headline, different pictures. It minimizes confusion. So now that we have our 5 carousel cards, we will see edit placements, select a placement to edit. These are all edited based on the way that Facebook and Instagram can show images. So they will be cropped, they will be edited to fit the post grid line. So we can scroll through and see how they're edited. If we don't like the way that they're edited, then you can select a placement to edit. But Facebook's pretty good about editing photos to make sure that they're visible. We can do the same with Instagram, scroll across and see, okay, like maybe I don't like the fact that the garage is cut off. So I'd select a placement to edit, choose the one that matches this, and then I would edit accordingly. We see carousel optimization. So this says automatically show the best performing cards first. Yes, please. That would be great. Add music? Sure, go ahead, add some music. These are ways that Facebook's saying, hi, I want to do my thing because I know I'm good at it. So you're just going to let Facebook do its thing because it is good at it. Primary text. Now, how many of you can just answer this yourself because it is being recorded, but how many of you use ChatGPT to write your listing descriptions? Yep. Okay. So once you have your listing description, your listings on Realtor.ca, your listing descriptions up there, you already have your primary text ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Realtor.ca profile here. I'm going to say, okay, listing description is there. Fantastic. Going to highlight this, copy, and paste. Oh, look at that. My primary text is written. All done. Now, because this is social media, I do recommend going in and maybe adding 1 or 2 emojis. So for example, at the beginning, I would add a house emoji. I would maybe space out the caption a little bit. And then can anyone, maybe someone that was with me on Monday, tell me what I need to add?
Disclaimer.
Thank you. So there is no identification of real estate person, their designation, or the brokerage name, or any disclaimers on this ad. When we talked Monday about RICO guidelines, you must be putting your name that you trade with, your designation, your brokerage name, and the word brokerage at the end, along with any of your brokerage's disclaimers and the not intended to solicit buyer and sellers disclaimers. So for example, I'm going to go to my notes here and I have an example here. So I'm going to copy this template that I keep in my notes. I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to put agent name, Scott Gilmour. That's the name that he trades in. I'm going to put broker of record. I'm going to put his phone number. That's not his phone number. I'm going to put his email. If he had a website, I would add it here. And then we have the brokerage disclaimers and RICO disclaimers. If you're with Realty Executives Plus LTD brokerage, we have each office is independently owned and operated. You also have the option of just saying independently owned and operated. But all advertising that is meant to solicit buyers and sellers must include not intended to solicit buyers or sellers currently under contract with another brokerage. I know this isn't news to everyone, but we did have our RICO guidelines session on Monday and we went over this, so I just wanted to reiterate it again.
So if I'm advertising it myself, I don't have to put down independently owned and operated, right? Or like
So
as
you
a
do,
realtor.
you have to put, it should be on your, honestly, on your business cards as well. We have it on anything that says Realty Executives Plus LTD brokerage. You have that little
Okay.
asterisk. It's
Yeah.
it's also embedded on your website.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of keep a template in the notes section. And then you can just
Okay.
copy and paste it. I haven't actually written the sentence, each office is independently owned and operated, in probably 2 years, because I just keep copy and pasting it. So your primary text is really just your listing description, along with your contact information and disclaimers. Before we move on to forms, does anyone have any questions about adding in images or writing caption or any of the edit placements and optimizations?
Can you show this primary text again, Michelle?
Yes, yeah. So the primary text would be blank. And you can see the primary text here in the draft is the big long caption at the front, at the top on Facebook, or at the bottom on Instagram. See it here. So the primary text would be blank. I go over to my listing description on realtor.ca. I click copy. I click paste into the primary text. I'm choosing to add in emojis. I just think it looks better for social media. So I just add a little house emoji. This was originally like this, so I just clicked return on my laptop to kind of spread that out. I went over to my disclaimers template in my notes section, copied my contact information and my brokerage's disclaimers, and pasted that into the primary text. And then we can see that's all available in the ad caption here.
Should we put our website on there too in the signature or no?
Yeah, so if Scott had a website, then I would put it here. I will put for this example, the realtyexecutivesplus.com. One of the things that I do always say to you guys is if you are not using a social media or a website, but you have the link for it, if you're not using it, don't share it. Because the worst thing that can happen is someone clicks on your website or someone clicks on your social media page and there's no usage, there's no up-to-date listings, maybe the link is broken and it says to them, oh, this person's no longer working in real estate, let me find someone else. So only add in your website or other social media handles if they are currently being used. And if, like in this example, if I didn't have a website to add, but I wanted to add one, you're more than welcome to add the brokerage website whenever you want. And at the bottom here, we have the call to action. So call to action, if we click on the drop-down menu here, we have all of these options. Can subscribe, apply, book now, get offer, get quote, sign up, all of these. But the one we're going to use is learn more. So we're going to click on learn more. And then it's going to say we need a destination. Where are we sending these people? So we can either use a template of a form or you can create a form. So we're going to build a unique form. So it will say forms for credit, employment, or housing. Our advertising policies prohibit discriminatory practices. When you create your form, make sure that the questions and information are inclusive. So we're going to click continue. We are going to stay with more volume. We're going to choose our form name as well-informed. I'll just say number 2. and I'm going to click next. So background image is optional, but you must put a greeting in here. So if I were to add my background image, this is where it will say either use the image from your ad, or you can use an uploaded image. I don't know why that one's crossed out for me, but we can see that this one matches the ad. So this is what Nancy and I were talking about. And then you also have a greeting. So let people know any relevant details, why they should complete your form. So as you can see, it's changed from contact information to greeting form. So I'm going to write, thank you for your interest in our property. And I'm going to put, fill out the following info to learn more about, and then I'll put 7 Madison Court info. So I have my headline, thank you for your interest in our property, and then fill out the following info to learn more about, and then it has the address description. And you can see it being populated in the draft here. So I'm going to click next. And this is where we have your contact information. It's optional to describe what you're looking for them to fill out. What I have done is I've taken away this full name option. And I've actually clicked add category. I've clicked user information. I've clicked first name. And I did the same with last name. So I go to add category, user info, last name.
Sorry, Michelle, I mean, I'm just a little bit behind here.
No
So
problem.
Mine showed up with privacy policy, which I had to post a link for.
Yep.
Which I did. And then it went to the message for the lead, which you kind of did. And then it's saying additional action, go to website, view file, call business, redeem promo code or anything like that.
So that for me is after this section.
Okay.
So I'm filling out my questions that I want them to answer. Then I have my privacy policy, and then I have the ending.
Okay.
So for contact information, you'll see this if you've ever filled out a form online as well. You'll see that first name is always first, and then last name, and then contact information. So we're going to keep that. So all I did was move my cursor over these dotted lines here. I'm able to click and drag where I want this information in line. So I have first name, last name.
What's the benefit of doing first name, last name rather than full name?
Oh, first name, last name. They're more inclined to put their entire name, whereas full name, a lot of people will just put their first name.
Okay.
Because this way you have to fill out both sections.
Yeah.
And so far, I think with over 70 leads now, I don't think we've had, knock on wood, we haven't had anyone put their first name twice or their last name twice. I haven't seen that at all. Have you seen that, Herbert?
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, pay attention.
The question is, have you seen any leads that come in? Have they put, like, let's say the lead be like first name Michelle, last name Michelle?
No, thank you, that's a great point. They've actually put their first name and proper last name.
Yeah. And with a full name, people are less inclined to do that because they don't have to.
Yeah, and you're correct there too, because it's like, do I really have to put my full name? I'll just put, Herb, that's it.
Yeah.
Or H. So far, every single lead I've gotten, it was a proper full name, so.
Yeah. So once you have first name, last name, email, the last part you're going to add in the contact field is phone number.
Sorry, Michelle, how do we add, like mine says full name and email before? Right?
Yes.
How do you add the
So
last?
you'll have where it says full name, you'll probably see a little trash can next to it.
Yeah,
So click on the trash can,
yeah,
and then you'll see this add category button here.
yeah.
So click on that.
Then
Click
I
on
see first name. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so you'll have user info, which is just the names, and then you'll have contact fields, which is email, phone number, and then you could add in all the information if you want. But please be cautious. We recommend only doing first name, last name, email, phone number, because more information than what is necessary will deter them from filling out the form.
Sure.
You have, if they fill out this form correctly, you have a great lead form right here. First name, last name, email, phone number. That's pretty good.
That's right.
And also, another point too, when forms like this come up on Facebook and everything, usually it's automatically filled. So, you know,
From the profile.
from their profile already. So having the basic in there is the best thing, because anything else, they may not even fill it. They're like, no, I don't want to give that. You know, are you looking to buy in the next 3 months? I'm not filling that out.
That's not, nobody's.
That's actually perfect because that's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, I read your mind.
Yes, there we go. So for the description, if you want, you can also see examples of what that is. We do see the optional button here, but let's just see examples. And you'll see their examples are, we'll use your information to send you weekly newsletters. We'll use your information here, all of that. So we're going to say, under contact information, we will, or you know what, just use their example here for right now.
Mine defaulted to, it says, please answer below questions.
Yeah, you can use this. You can say, please answer the below questions. You can say, you can just use the one from your intro, fill out the following info to learn more. And then you'll see that it populates in this area here. If you don't like any of those, you can also go to the trusted ChatGPT and check out what they have to say. So once all this information is filled out, you're going to click next. And here you have privacy policy. So again, this is where my little HR hat comes on. And this is where you're going to put the brokerage's privacy policy. So I'm going to open up realtyexecutivesplus.ca.
Does anybody know where that is? Oh, that's the question.
Yes, so that's what we're gonna look at.
Yeah.
I know that Jake showed us in the last video, but we're gonna do it again. So in realtyexecutivesplus.ca, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And you're going to see terms of service and privacy policy. So you're going to click on privacy policy. You're going to click on this website and you're going to click copy. You can click on that URL and click copy and go back over to our ad. We're going to paste. And I could say visit Real Estate Careers Plus privacy policy. What I'm going to say instead is Realty Executives Plus LTD brokerage privacy policy. And then it's very clear that this is what our privacy policy is. This is also an option if you don't want to add in the brokerage information in your caption. You can add it here as well in custom notices. So I would be able to put Realty Executives Plus LTD brokerage, and then go back to my disclaimers in my notes and put each office is independently owned and operated, not intended to solicit. So this is in replacement of adding it into the caption. So if you're going to be using instant forms only, this is an option where you can add in those disclaimers instead of adding them to the caption. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. So now you'll see this is what the privacy policy page would look like. You have brokerage, all of our disclaimers, the RICO disclaimers, along with our privacy policy and the Facebook privacy policy. So now I'm going to click next. And it has already set a ending form for me. It says, thanks, you're all set. I think that's great. And then what I've done instead for specifically the Madison ad that we did, instead of sending them to a website, I actually sent them to the virtual tour. So in the description, I wrote, you can now step into our virtual tour. And so I just edited the caption. I stayed with go to website, but I linked the virtual tour. And instead of view website, I put step inside. So it's
The brand
a little
one.
bit different than the more generic, visit my website or visit realtor.ca. So this is a really cool option for you to add.
It can be branded one here because it's on Facebook,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. When we talk about unbranded
Only
videos, especially for Trev, we're talking about uploading them to realtor.ca. And not to worry, because if any of you do that, we get a big red notification.
I don't know.
And so like I said, the headline, thanks, you're all set. I actually like that one. That's the one I've been using. So I kept that. The description is based on what you want to do. So it says you can visit our website or exit the form now. So I put, you can step inside our virtual tour or exit the form now. I would copy and paste the link from, I'll just use this one because it's here. And then the title is step inside. So this is what the end of my form looks like. Now, before I click create form, I'm going to double check all of the details of my form, because when you create a form, you cannot go back and edit it. You would have to duplicate the form and edit that one. So to double check everything on your form, you're just going to use these two arrows here, and you're going to go all the way back to the beginning, page 1. So thank you for your interest in our property. Fill out the following info to learn more about the address. And again, this can be tweaked based on the way that you would say it, or if you want to add in this section, fill out the following information and then step into our virtual tour for 107 Madison Court in Welland. That's definitely an option as well. Page 2 is the contact information. Your first name, last name, email, and phone number is what we're looking for from these people. The privacy policy, this is where you add in the brokerage's privacy policy, along with adding in those disclaimers if you don't want to add them in your caption. And then the last page is the message for the leads and the link to wherever you want them to go, whether that's your website, your realtor.ca page for that property, or in this case, the virtual tour. Before I exit, are there any questions about creating the form? Okay, so I'm going to click create form. Great. So I see Welland Form 2 is the one that I'm using. I'm going to scroll down. I'll see my form here. I'll see my ad here. I think that looks great. We have our caption here. Fantastic. And then you'll see all this tracking information, URL parameters. These are options if you want to track the event data sets that contain all this insights, if you have website events or app events or anything like that. I have not set this up for any of our ads, and I have not touched the URL parameters. I've just left this. So the last thing I've done is created my form, and that's it. We can also see all of our drafts here. So if you're on Instagram stories or Facebook stories, this is what the ad would look like. If you're on the Instagram Explore page, this is what the ad would look like. So Facebook is really good about showing you exactly what you're paying for, and you can edit accordingly. So once I see, oh, I like this one too. That's different. So once I have all of this done, I have my form ready. I have, I've left all of this alone. I'm not touching the tracking information. I'm just going to click publish. What's going to happen is you're going to receive an email. Once your ad is accepted by Meta, you'll receive an email saying, great, this is your ad. This is how much you set for a daily budget or a lifetime budget. And as Nancy was saying, once your card gets charged, you will receive emails depending on, how much Meta is spending a day, and they'll charge you accordingly. Before I go back to our campaigns overview and look at a completed ad, does anyone have any questions while I'm in this one that we're editing?
I have not a question, a statement too.
Okay.
For those who are about to do this, because this is exactly what happened to me, you have to be careful of the wording that you put in there, because Facebook will look at it. So for example, if you have a lease and you specifically say in there, looking for couples, families to lease out, or no dogs, they will not accept it and they will cancel that listing, or at least tell you to edit it. Yeah.
Yeah, rejected.
Yeah, they will
that.
reject it, yeah. So you gotta keep in mind that wording, try to keep it as generic as you can.
Yeah, very good point. We're doing that, the categorizing of the ad for the housing and understanding that there are certain things that you cannot.
How come you're not online? She's talking. It's not going. Oh, now it is. Oh. She didn't hear you, I don't think.
I heard you. What's the question? Do we have a question?
Oh,
No?
it just turned off. Oh, the Bluetooth was off, so she didn't hear you.
Oh, right.
I wonder, can they hear me?
Are you there, Michelle?
Yep, I'm talking to you.
No.
Oh, we
We
can
lost
hear
you.
you. The speaker went off. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, my question, you can hear us? So, what if you want to go back and edit something, like I've changed my mind on budget or, location or whatever, how do I go back?
Yeah, good question. We're gonna get into that when I pull up the account overview. I'll open an ad that's currently running. And
Yeah,
we'll
like I don't want to
editing
publish it
certain
yet,
things.
right? So I don't want to publish it, I want to go back and check, I went
Oh,
through like.
okay. So if it's
like,
unpublished,
that's a
you're
typo.
looking, you're looking to add things. You're just going to click on any of the sections here of where you want to edit. So this is the first page that we talked about, categorizing
Gotcha.
your ad. You're absolutely able to go in and edit anything before you publish. Once you publish, you can go in and edit as well. So we'll do a quick overview of that. But any questions based on changes or things you want to go over again about creating the ad before we publish? Okay. So I'm just going to click close. And it will say publish draft items. No, thank you. So I'm just going to click close. And now it's in draft. So that's great. If I wanted to, I could go back and edit that. But we're going to go back to our original campaigns here. So we have our 2 in draft, 1 active, and 1 completed. So to this point, editing an active ad, we're just going to click on the campaign. We're going to click on the Confederation Parkway campaign. We're going to click edit. And we can see we can go in and edit some of the features. Housing. We can't edit the campaign details. We can't edit the instant forms. What we can do is either change images, or if you want to edit your form, you can do that. You can change the form, but you can't change the style in which you are acquiring leads. So if all of a sudden in the middle of your ad, you say, okay, I don't want to use instant forms anymore, I just want them to call me, you wouldn't be able to change that. You would have to create a form that either in the form doesn't ask for a lot of information and it does ask them to call you, would be a way around that. But you'll see when we go over here, conversion location, I can't change where they're going once the ad is already running. I can, like I said, I can change the images. I can change any of my descriptions or headlines. Can change my primary text. I had to do this when Madison had a price improvement. I had to go into the ad and change the price. So you absolutely are able to do that. But it's just those two sections that you can't change. The campaign details, so your campaign objective, and your conversion location. Everything else you can edit. So if we wanted to go into a campaign that has been completed or is active, you can go into your campaigns here. You can either click on the full campaign to check out the details, or you can just scroll to the right and you'll be able to see your results, your reach, your impressions, your cost per result, your amount spent, and when it ended, or if it's ongoing. This is really what changed our minds about these ads and showed us that these ads are working. When we were originally doing ads with that more generic style, it was costing us between $16 and $20 a lead. Which when we talked to many people within Realty executives, outside of Realty executives, that was actually very common. Now, between the change of the style of ad and the change of interest rate happening, we can see a lot more consumer confidence. We can see, I see a thumbs up from the group there. We can see a lot more consumer confidence. We can see people actually being more active. And that all changes our cost per result, and it will change yours as well. So if you've done an ad maybe, 4 or 5 months ago, there's probably going to be a big difference between the way that you set up your ad and your cost per result. Does anyone have any questions? I know this is a lot of information.
Luckily, it's recording.
Exactly.
It was really good, Michelle. Thank you.
Very, very detailed.
Yeah,
Michelle,
very
thank
detailed.
you. Yeah.
Thank
We'll
you.
probably have to go back and recording again.
Yes. Yes, this along with our RICO guidelines session will be on YouTube later today. So everyone will be able to have the links. And what I'm also going to do is not only send out this recording, but I'm going to send out the package that was sent out last time Jake did a Facebook lead generation session, which is the how to set up Zapier with your Prime Agent account. So everyone has a Prime Agent account. Zapier is the way that you can set up a Facebook page to import leads directly into your CRM. So it goes through exactly how to do that if you've never done it before. With us, because we've been running ads through Facebook and because most of you here have already done that, that's already set up for you.
And that's only required that step to be done once, Michelle?
Correct. Yes, that is correct. Yes. Shireen, if you want to ask your question, you can either unmute or add it in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer your question.
So the thing that you did different is that you put your signature and your name as a brokerage on the ad. Is that's what makes a difference? And now you're receiving more what is called active or better leads?
The biggest difference for us was that we did not, I'll go into one of these ads here. We used to do a cost per result goal on our ads. So if you're in an ad here, I believe it's on the first page. second page, maybe. So this cost per result goal here, we used to do this. We used to determine, okay, we only want to spend this much money per lead per day or whatever. We've decided not to do this cost per result goal anymore and do a lifetime budget instead.
Okay.
That,
Yeah, I remember that conversation
Yes.
about the $15 or $20 per lead and the bidding and that kind of
Yes.
stuff on the previous meeting that we had. Okay.
yes, so that was a big change. And the biggest change, honestly, was the content that we were marketing. So we were originally marketing very generic ads. So those were free home evaluation. If you're interested in buying and selling, fill out this form, like very generic. Now we are marketing very specific properties and targeting them to people with very specific interests, like first-time home buyers or people interested in condominiums. And we do that in the detailed targeting section of this ad setup. So those have been the biggest changes for us. What you're saying, the signature with all of our information and stuff, that hasn't been a change. That's just part of what we have to do when we are marketing homes for sale and asking for people's information, is adding in those contact areas for yourself and your title as salesperson or broker. I know there's a whole list of things that we're allowed to use now, but those are just the two examples I'm going to give. And the brokerage information.
Yeah, I have been adding the names and yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, so the main changes is the cost, the lifetime cost, and the specific category, specific house, the specific property that we, okay, I got that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The specific property is what really changed for us. And I know especially with our team, we have so many people that are more than willing to allow other agents to market their properties. People want eyes on their property. They want buyers for their listings. And the best way that we can all kind of reap the benefits of that is working together.
Sure. I would prefer if we have a WhatsApp group for easier communication. I know you told me that we have a Facebook, but I think WhatsApp is easier for us. That's a suggestion. Like I think it's if I listed my listing and the other people listed their listing and I might have a buyer, I think it will be easier than going to Facebook and I go to Facebook and I'm lost, to be honest. So
Yeah, I
maybe
know.
this is my issue and I'm not good in technology. I know that it could be, but I mean, it's just a suggestion. If we have a post, a WhatsApp group that we can post it internally, I think that's helpful too, but that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I really like that. Thank you, Shireen. We've actually had quite a few suggestions from agents just in the past week. So I'm always more than happy to take your suggestions and kind of edit accordingly. One of them was we had an agent recommend that the checklist that Scott sent out for the forms. I mean, I'm relatively new to web forms and all that, but I didn't realize there was editable versions that you can just send the links to. So one of the suggestions was on the checklist that we send out to our agents, have those forms ready on that list. I thought that was a great idea. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah, so definitely always open to suggestions, and definitely looking to implement some new strategies, especially for collaboration and technology and all that.
Thank you.
Michelle, I have one question, sorry, about, you know how you said linking through Zapier. So I had a business page before and that was linked, but then that page got hacked and all, somebody kind of spent some money on it. So I had to kind of stop that, call Facebook. Anyways, they refunded my money and all, but I had to create a new page now. So do I have to relink it again? Because it's
Yes.
linked at a page level.
Yes. That section that I showed you right at the beginning of the ad, when if you have multiple pages, you
Yeah.
will have to choose the correct page. And I do believe that when you're linking to a CRM system, you would have to link to that direct page. So you may have to set that up again. But like I said, I'm going to be sending that out, so you'll have all the tools necessary to set that up again.
And it's not based on the form we selected. It's based on page that we
Yes,
have,
it's
right?
based on the Facebook page. So for example, I had all these different forms for my
Yeah.
previous ads that I did, but they were all linked to the same CRM. So I never had to do the Zapier thing again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I have stopped sharing my screen. If anyone wants me to go back for these last couple minutes, I'm more than happy to. If anyone has any last minute questions or anything like that, anything they want to share even. I know this was a much longer session, so I thank you all for staying. I really appreciate it.
I just sent you a message. I gotta go.
Okay,
I've got showings to get ready for.
amazing.
Yeah,
Great
thanks.
reason to have to go.
Yeah,
Thank you,
well,
Michelle.
I went to booked it for 1 o'clock, but I didn't realize this one was gonna go so long. But anyway, this has been absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And if no one has any other questions, that's all for me today. This recording will be available, and you guys are more than happy to contact me with any questions or concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a really good rest of your day, okay?
Bye-bye.